welcome to See You Live. I'm Susan Post, the Associate Editor of Columbus Underground.
And I'm Walker Evans, co-founder of Columbus Underground.
And we are going to talk about food.
Hooray!
Woo! So the pandemic hasn't seemed to really slow things down when it comes to the restaurant scene in Central Ohio. On my super fun spreadsheet, I've got over 70 places that have opened so far this year, and we're just kind of hitting fall, so
still a lot more to come. Yeah,
a lot of time left. So I want to talk about some of the things that we're seeing so far this year, some of the things we're excited about. The first topic I want to chat about, I have dubbed Market Mania, because we've seen this crazy influx of markets and food halls, and what do you think about that? Do you think that model's here to stay?
I think so, yeah, and it's one that I think is honestly, really embraced as one of those things that you can't really have enough of.
Yeah.
Because we've had the North Market forever. We used to have these, Central Market, East Market kind of destinations, and they, fell by the wayside in favor of, the more standard supermarket, grocery store. So now we're seeing kind of the swing back toward entrepreneurialism, these smaller businesses kind of getting started, whether they're bakeries or, coffee roasters or, prepared food. It's just great to see more of these kinds of spaces, operating.
Well, and I think, kind of mentioning some of these small businesses, I think a great example of that is the East Market Trolley District, which should open, I think, November.
The first phase of it.
The first phase of it, which is, it's going to be awesome when it's all done. But I was really impressed with that vendor lineup because there's a lot of food trucks, Creole To Go and Macho Taco that are getting their first brick and mortar location, and 1429 Bakery, the Plant Gaze, that's going to be their first brick and mortar. So it seems to be really incubating these small businesses, which I think is the purpose of a lot of these spots.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do want to see real grocery options too, and so there's the butcher, butcher and grocer.
Butcher and grocer have 7 stalls.
Yeah, I can't even name them all. I have to just go look them all up.
Yeah.
But good to see that in addition to the prepared food, because that is still kind of the trend. People want to get food to eat either on site or take it home.
And I think Bubbly Hall in New Albany is going to be another example of that. I think that was supposed to open this fall, but might have gotten construction, COVID delayed. But that's another one that's got a lot of firsts or kind of new concepts from different folks as well. So that's cool.
Yeah.
You've got Bud Dairy Food Hall on the Strictly Eats end. Have you checked that out yet?
Have not been there yet. It's on my to-do list. We haven't been a ton of places since we've been kind of restricted, but now we're vaccinated and starting to want to go out, but also there's the Delta variant, so trying to stay safe.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, really cool, building. Glad to see it, renovated and preserved, in all of its glory. And then the North Market in Dublin is another space, and then the Grandview one.
Grandview, they had the Collective Market. That was just announced not too long ago.
Yeah, Grandview Crossing.
Grandview Crossing, yeah. Yes. So that's Grandview Avenue and Dublin.
33, yeah, at that intersection.
I never know when the roads change names. Got into a big discussion about whether it's Summit or Third the other night.
Yeah.
Story for another time.
Yeah, but a really cool looking, rendering they've unveiled for that. That one's a little bit further down the road because they've got to construct it first. But another opportunity to have 10 or 12, local vendors setting up. Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. There's also been this big influx of coffee trucks and trailers, which I think is super cool because
you did a nice little roundup of all of them. Yeah,
it was fun.
Or some of them, I should say.
Some of them, yeah. I mean, there's more out there. I think we found 5 that have all launched this summer.
Yeah,
really, or one of them's launching this fall. So that's the Galaxy Coffee, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
all great stuff. I've gotten to try a few,
Yeah,
work perks.
And we'll have a couple of them at the Columbus Coffee Festival this fall. ColumbusCoffeeFest.com for info on that. But a really great opportunity to check out those and a whole bunch of other people doing cool things with coffee.
For sure. It's nice to kind of have those more in neighborhoods and whatnot.
Yeah.
We've also seen this giant hibachi trend. We've been joking about it a little bit.
The year of hibachi. 2021.
Great, because Mr. Hibachi just opened downtown.
Yep. And that's the latest of multiple locations that they have.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Jinjigo does have a location downtown, temporarily closed, but I'm sure that'll be coming back.
Yeah, or that's the one with multiple locations. I'm sorry.
Both have multiple locations.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay, okay, cool.
So
cool.
Mr. Hibachi has a location.
Hard to keep track of all these hibachi places.
On Cleveland and one in Powell.
Yeah.
So, fun fact.
Yeah. We had a spot just open on the Near East Side on Mount Vernon. Avenue.
Okay.
Hibachi place.
Hibachi, if that's your jam.
Yeah,
yeah. What are some of the other new places that you've had the opportunity to try?
Well, I mean, hot on the mind is El Segundo, where we both just went on Saturday. The newest Cameron Mitchell restaurant in the Short North. It's the spot. Used to be Rigsby's back in the day. It was Harvey and Ed's, kind of the Jewish delicatessen concept that was tested out. They ran it for like 16 months or something and deemed it wasn't going the way they wanted it to, so closed it down, and now El Segundo's opening up. Really good food. I mean, everything we tried, I was impressed with.
Really enjoyed it, and highly recommend the churros. I just wanted to eat the chocolate sauce that it came with, the spoon.
Yeah, just drink it. Right. Yeah.
It was great. It looked great. I mean, Cameron Mitchell always does a great job on his concepts and putting together something really cool. So
yeah, I was telling a friend about, like, a lot of times if you go get like steak fajitas at a place, it's pre-cut steak strips, and this was just like one whole piece of steak, and so you're cutting it yourself, and it was it was top notch.
It was really good. I know we both had DeCarlo's also.
Yes.
Which I know if you've
with the provolone.
Yes, with the provolone. It's provolone. If you've checked out our newer series Aficionado with Jim Ellison, who knows about all things pizza in Columbus, he just did a pretty extensive rundown of that experience. But for those not in the know, it's cold cheese on top, but it's great. I was like so pleasantly surprised. Had it several times now.
I think you have to go into it with an open mind.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a very specific expectation of what your favorite kind of pizza is and nothing else compares to your favorite kind of pizza, then you're probably not going to like it, but you're also probably going to not like anything else.
I mean, because I love melty cheese. Like, that is a big factor in pizza for me, and I still thought it was great. Yeah. The crust is awesome.
It's really high quality cheese, too. Like, you get an extra little bag of it to put on there. Yeah. So it's Steubenville style?
Yes, or Ohio Valley style.
Ohio Valley style.
They like to call it DeCarlo style.
Yeah. I described it as being, it tastes like small town pizza. Like, no matter what town you live in, there's that one, it has like one pizza place.
Yep.
It's not a chain.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mom and pop, and it's been there forever. It tastes like that pizza place. You know what I mean?
Speaking of pizza, I did get to try Wizard of Za.
Oh, cool.
Which was also really good.
I've not jumped on the waiting list yet.
I was lucky enough to score one, and it was great also. It was definitely, had a lot of details that I noticed that just made it taste homemade in a good way. Like, put a lot of time and effort into it, and so definitely check that out if you can score spots. I've seen some opening up if you're following on Instagram.
Nice.
What else? Went to Getaway Brewing. Seventh Sun
Cool.
concept up at Bridge Park in Dublin.
Yeah, on the old Dublin side.
On the old Dublin side. It's like the last building on the north end.
Yeah.
So overlooks the ravine. Super cool.
Nice.
Who doesn't love beer?
We took a chance. This isn't new, but we took kind of COVID as an opportunity to try some new to-go things. And pizza is an easy thing to get to go, but we tried Torritos for the first time up on the north side. They've been around forever, but it's out of our normal radius for going to get pizza. Yeah, but we've been trying to venture out and explore and try some different spots, and it was really good.
It's good. Yeah, I think I had that for the first time within the last year or so also, and definitely awesome. And up kind of north side, I was excited to get something new in my neighborhood. Martha's Fusion Kitchen opened in North Linden. Great birria. Like, we ordered way too much of it, and it was awesome. So cool to see some spots, some neighborhood spots like that, sort of fill it in.
Nice. Yeah, we went, another place that just comes to mind. It's not super new, but it opened a little bit before COVID, so it's spent a lot of its time, kind of
not operating as it should.
Existing through COVID, just getting by. But the Hangover Easy location in Old Town East there at Parsons and Oak, really close to home, so it's like a nice, easy walk for us. But nice to get back out to some of those kinds of places and support them as they're coming out of, the toughest part of this, I think.
For sure. And there's also, I've noticed there's been a lot of dessert places that have opened, which satisfies my sweet tooth. You've got Switch in Italian Village, and those Mondo ice cream sandwiches. There's Lion's Cub cookies over on Grandview Avenue that just opened. Patty Cake relocated within Clintonville, which is exciting. So all kinds of stuff out there to try, and probably about 60 more that we haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
Are there any places that are, kind of on your list to try?
That's a good question. I mean, the place, like going to Bud Dairy and just kind of working my way through the menu, that's been pretty high up on my list. Not to keep going back to pizza, but a friend, Dan, shout out to Dan Reef, recommended the pizza out at CBC Brewing, like in their tap room and stuff. He was talking their pizza up a whole lot, and also Studio 35 pizza's on my list to try. I know you've had it.
That's a favorite of ours. Fibonacci's.
Fibonacci's, yeah, that's right.
It's great. It kind of reminds me of Harvest a little bit, so if you kind of like that thin, chewier crust, it's really good.
Nice.
So
yeah.
And Studio 35 is awesome. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna try the Sycamore that just reopened under new ownership. Looks great. And then also pizza. Can't get enough pizza. Square Slice Pizzeria opened in Old North Arcade, and they're doing kind of that Detroit style, thick, cheesy crust.
That looks good too.
Gotta check that out. And there's a lot of places I just want to go back to also.
Yeah. It's really just getting back to the places you haven't been in a while.
For sure.
You know, it's gonna feel pretty good.
For sure. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening to us talk food. Definitely keep an eye on the website. We're always updating with first looks and new stories and new restaurant reviews. So never any shortage of things to try.
Yeah, and if you have any comments on places that you suggest we check out or suggest other people check out, just leave a comment below.
Awesome. Thanks so much.